Today's guest is April. She is a celebrity psychic medium, natural-born clairvoyant, remote viewer, ghost hunter, and more. She has been featured on Travel Channel's hit series, The Holzer Files, and she is the star of live readings with April, the psychic housewife of New Jersey. April, thank you very, very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm so glad to be here. Finally, we get to see each other.
Yes.
We've been speaking to each other on Messenger.
We're not just speaking to each other telepathically.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're really doing.
Yeah. So can you give us a little bit about your background? Like even I believe that you are natural born clairvoyant. So when did you realize that you had that ability?
I know, it's crazy. I was actually 4 when I realized, well, I'm 4, I'm a kid, but that's when I had my first visitation. When I was 2, my real father passed away.
Oh, wow.
So my mom remarried, we moved in with my stepdad. And at 4, my real father came to see me. So, but I'm just a little kid. And I started, I woke up screaming, Daddy's here, Daddy's here. And, my family came in and I'm like, Daddy was, here in front of me. So after that, years passed, there's little things happening here and there. Then I start seeing, more spirits start coming in, from a 10,000 mile radius, every spirit around, was coming in to see me. It was just insane, but these weren't always good spirits too. So that's the scary part. So, you're going to get good spirits. With the good spirits, it's like open a portal. So all these bad spirits started coming in, tormenting me. And my family was starting to feel it too. They weren't seeing it, but my sisters were being grabbed. We had stuff disappearing and ending up in weird spots in the house. I was getting grabbed. I was getting welts. I was getting pushed in front of my family. I was sitting in a chair and I got pushed and flew into the wall. And then I had spirits visiting me at night and it was just tormenting. So as I got older into my teens, actually, you know what, when I was really young, in the first grade, when I get my information, I know a lot of people say they have guides and everything. I don't. I just get the information. I just know it. I call it downloads. And I remember they wanted me to skip a grade in first grade because the teacher was up there. And before she would finish a question, I would blurt out the answer. So they thought I was some child prodigy. And I'm like, I'm not. I just know it. So.
Well, you're saying you're getting grabbed and your family, or you're getting pushed and other family members are getting pushed, and that's pretty scary. And you're a good Italian girl.
Yes,
so I'm surprised if you're not Catholic, you didn't call a priest over to start doing some exorcisms or something.
Oh, what are you kidding? My mom didn't want anyone to know. She didn't want anyone to think we were crazy. So it's all about the reputation. But it was crazy because now I'm seeing these people that are in the house and I'm telling my family what I'm seeing. And the scary part, when they started, now I have these really bad spirits coming in and they would mimic my mom's voice. And I would wake up in the middle of the night looking for my mom because my mom's calling me. So I was kind of half in a trance, and I would walk and I would wake up in pitch black at the top of the stairs. They were trying to get me to fall down the stairs and hurt me.
Wow.
So that wasn't working. So now they start going into my dream state. So I'm in my dreams. I can dream that I can fly down the stairs. So I'm just a kid yet. So after having so many dreams, I'm like, hey, I can do this. I can fly down the stairs. So I tried to do it one time, but my mom called me. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I can fly down the stairs. But I realized as I get older, they were just getting into my head. So, now I'm older, I can control this, when spirits come around, but it's pretty crazy. Especially when they mimic your mom's voice.
Yeah. Do you think that the bad ones are only because you're living in that house, or they're everywhere?
At first that's what I thought, but after doing this for so many years, even doing investigations and residentials, I realized when a portal opens and the spirits around, even if they're good spirits, of course there's going to be bad spirits around. Just like in life, we have good and bad people.
Right.
Except not everyone can see. So.
Right. Can you just tell them, hey, get out of here, and they'll leave, or they won't?
When I started when I was younger, I'm petrified. I was scared of them. But I just gotta tell you, the funny part was, I always tell everyone this, there was one room in the house, for some reason, they couldn't get me. And that was my brother's room. So I wound up sleeping. My bedroom where this was all the action was happening was on the third floor. Nobody ever slept up there again, because anyone that slept up there, like, we would hear weird noises, like we would hear scratching, we would hear like a baby crying, like if a baby was crying in the room. It was so weird.
Yes.
And we were seeing shadows. And the thing that I saw was the final straw is I woke up, and when I turned over to like the middle of my bed, there was like this black shadow figure in my bed with red eyes. And I'm like, that's it. We're done. No more. So
wow. So is it possible to tell them to leave and they'll listen and leave, or you don't really have any control over them?
No, now, I've gotten more powerful because I'm also a shaman now. So I have complete control over it. Yeah, I can get them to leave, and there's some that you cannot get to leave. And it's weird. I was just telling somebody about this recently. I've noticed on every investigation I've gone on, and there was spirits around. Of course, some have bad spirits. There's always this one spirit hanging around that I can always feel. And it's like the same type of spirit. And I realized that this is like a soul collector. It's like, but it's not. It's after coming to try and get souls of like their spirits.
Wow.
I know, it's pretty crazy. I discovered this when I was at the haunted Shanley Hotel. And I said, you know what? I keep encountering the same spirit. They never, every time I go somewhere into a haunting, a residential area, I always would feel this spirit, but I could never find it. I always felt like it was hiding from me. And then I realized that the one time, it confronted me, and it told me, I'm not here for the living. I'm here to collect souls, to get these people. And if they were bad ones. So I realized there's always one, if there's a lot of spirit activity, and if there is, if it's not there, it eventually, if the spirits remain in the home, there's always going to be that one dark spirit trying to get those other spirits. It's really crazy. I have crossed over spirits. So I've gone, because a lot of people call me to come to their homes that are being, haunted, or, a lot of spirit activity. And I was able to cross over a lot of spirits.
Let's go back to this soul collector. What do you think the soul collector was doing with spirits or souls once he or she gets them?
That I don't know. And I swear, I just thought of this, something clicked in my head the other day, and I was going back over all my cases, and I said, oh my God, I keep encountering the same feeling when I go places, but I never realized it until the Shanley Hotel, when the thing did confront me and was telling me what it did. And I think a lot of the spirits that get stuck here, that don't cross over, that they're still here. He's trying to stop them from crossing over, as if to take. Yeah. I don't know why yet. So I want to I'm going to delve further into this, investigate this more. But it just dawned on me, it was when did you ever watch the movie The Sixth Sense?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, but when it clicks in their head, they realize, and Bruce Willis realizes he's dead, and he goes back to and he realizes that all these other instances and all the that happened while he was dead, and he realized, oh my God, I'm dead. That's what happened to me. I had flashbacks. I'm like, oh my God, of every place I was at. I had that same feeling. That thing was there, but it wouldn't show itself to me.
Do you think it was following you?
No, I don't think it's following me. I think there's different ones, or I don't think it's the same one, but I think they're all at different places where there's spirit activity.
Wow.
So,
that's the first time I've ever heard this.
When I find out, I know, I just happened to have a conversation over the weekend with another medium about this. And I said, I finally realized what this thing was.
I got to think here, because just thinking about it maybe lost my train of thought.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Right.
I know.
So you're able to talk to people.
I'm blowing your mind, Jeff.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight probably because of this.
I know.
I believe you said that you talk to people both who have crossed over and who are earthbound. If so, how can you tell the difference?
It's the energy, different. I can feel the energy around people. So the earthbound ones are a heavier energy. And I can feel it's like a more of a pressure around me. So the heavier the pressure, the more I know it's more earthbound. The lighter it is, I know that's crossed over, and I can see if they're crossed over. It's the way they act, the way they speak. The ones that are stuck here, it's a totally different how they present themselves. It's darker.
Are they like depressed?
Not depressed, but more like confusion. Confused where they are. But I'm glad, like, if I could do cases, but it stinks because, like, if I do a residential case, I can cross them over. If I go to an actual, well-known haunted location, they don't want me getting rid of their spirits because then they lose their business. So.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Capitalism at its best, I guess.
Well, we love going to these places. We want to see ghosts.
Yeah, we want to see. So do you mostly just feel people, or do you visually like see like your classic kind of transparent looking ghost like being?
It's a little bit of both. Mostly I feel them. So okay. I feel, like it's so crazy, it's so cliche, but it's like see with the third eye, but that's actually where I'm seeing. This is how I tell people, this is how I see things. Picture your bedroom in your head.
All right.
Are you seeing it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see things.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a memory,
isn't it? But
that's like a memory.
It's kind of like a memory, but they're showing me their memory. They're showing me themselves.
Oh, okay.
They're putting their thoughts in my head. So, and if they can't, if the connection's not good, like having T-Mobile, yeah. If your connection's not good, they give me images in my head to like make me say things. They use my memory bank. Like I know when I see an orange, I know that's Florida. They're trying to let me know that that's Florida. I had one instance where I was doing a reading, and I used to work for the police department. So I worked for the chief of police.
Wow.
So I'm doing a reading, and I'm bringing this guy through. And all of a sudden, he's showing me one of the officers I used to work with, but they were showing me in civilian clothing. So I'm like, why the heck would he show me in civilian clothing? Because I've only seen him in uniform. So I was baffled by that. Like, how am I supposed to, what does this mean? So all of a sudden I hear, say his name. And I said, oh my God. So it was the cop's name. His name was Bruce. Mm-hmm. So I said, who's Bruce? And the lady started crying. The man I was bringing through, his name was Bruce.
Oh, wow.
So this is how they try to get me to say things. If I don't hear it clearly, they'll give me something I know so I can say it. It's pretty interesting. It's like doing putting a puzzle together.
So would you say you're clairaudient as well? Like you'll just hear their voices too?
Yes. I'm everything. I do all the clairs. But yeah.
All the clairs.
It just depends on the situation. All the clairs. I have all the clairs.
All right.
Even smell too.
I got a couple people here already. Maybe these are some of your peeps.
Hey.
This is from Parabent6 says, hi, April.
Hi. I don't know who that is. What's the name?
Parabent6. And then we got Paragen72 says, April has been to my home and helped us cross over a little girl we had there. She's the best.
Aw, that's Jen. Hey, Jen, what's going on?
Yes.
Jen's actually my moderator too. Like she was a client that became a friend, and now she's my moderator on my show. Her and her fiance friend. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I guess Parabent is Brent. So how did you work up this ability into becoming, I would say, a professional psychic? Like, how did you develop this? And then all of a sudden you got on TV and celebrities and whatever else you're into.
I know. It's so freaking crazy how it happened. I mean, I was reading like when I was a teenager, and I was doing it for fun, but I was trying to keep it quiet, doing my friends, my close friends. And then when I left the police department, I said to my, like, I when I met my husband, I told him, I said, listen, I can read, I'm a psychic, but I said, I don't want it out there. I don't want people making fun of me, because look at me, I'm normal, right? I'm not the goth, not all the weird stuff. And I never wanted to be perceived that way, because I was always popular in school, the cheerleader, and not the crazy psychic. So I never wanted anyone to know. So, when I left the police department, I said, I don't think I want to go back to an office. I said, I think I'm going to do this professionally.
Mm-hmm.
So, I said, listen, and I heard already known this. I said, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be doing fairs. I said, so I'm going to be gone on the weekends. Is that okay? So I didn't even have this job yet. So
Mm-hmm.
I just made a phone call and I said, listen, do you know like where I can, start doing this? Oh yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, they're looking for somebody, and that's how I started. My name started getting out there, and then paranormal groups started contacting me, and then TV found me. I had a producer from Travel Channel contact me
Mm-hmm.
for the Lambert Castle, which is pretty cool. And they called me up and they're like, hey, have you ever been to Lambert Castle? And I'm like, no, I never heard of it, but I'm going to tell you what I see. So I started telling them, I said, listen, so I said, the people, whoever goes there, they're seeing a lady in like a white dress. I see her walking around, but she disappears. I said, I see her outside by a tree, and she walks from the tree and she's walking towards this stone wall where there's this man, and this man disappears, and she's like baffled and she disappears. I think she was trying to find this man. So all right. So I said, listen, let me go there and see what else I could pick up. So I go there, I find the Lambert Castle. I get there, but it's not open. So I said, let me walk around. I'm walking around. It's a castle. I find the stone wall and I look over, and there's the tree where I saw the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, holy crap, it's real.
Wow.
Even I'm like amazed sometimes. I'm like, it's real. So as I'm walking, I hear this woman crying, like uncontrollably. So I said, oh my God, this woman lost a child. All of a sudden here, I'm transported up into the bedroom. I could see this woman. This is what I'm talking about, remote viewing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm in this bedroom in the castle, and there's this older woman in a black dress, white collar, hair back in a bun. And she's on the bed and she's crying. And I said, oh my God, she lost a child. She looks up at me and she goes, I'm not the person they think I am. So I'm like, oh, they think you're the lady in white. You're not the lady in white. So fast forward, I get called to go to the Lambert Castle to film.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk into the castle, my first time in there. I was so excited. I get to meet Shane Petman the first time when I walk in. I'm going up the stairs. And as we're going up the stairs to meet Dave Schrader, as we turn the corner, there's a picture there. And I grabbed the producer and I'm like, oh my God. I said, this is the woman I saw. He goes, that's Isabella Lambert. That's the daughter. I said, this is the woman in white. She was in her white wedding gown.
Oh, that's
I know,
amazing.
pretty crazy. Then, I go meet Dave Schrader. He's interviewing me and I'm telling the story. And I'm telling them the story about the woman crying in the bedroom who lost a child. He goes, that's funny. He goes, Mrs. Lambert lost 5 children, including Isabella. She outlived her children.
That's
so
amazing.
Now go into the show. Now they're filming the show without me, of course, because they have Cindy Kazar, they're psychic on the show, and they hear the woman crying. You hear it on camera, and that was the woman I was hearing crying. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. You are also a celebrity psychic. Are you allowed to name drop some of the celebrities that you work with?
Not all of them, but one of them is like I do a lot of the Housewives in New Jersey, hence my name, Psychic Housewife in New Jersey.
Oh, cool.
But one I do is Kim D from the Housewives in New Jersey.
Okay.
And she has become a good friend, but I read her.
Mm-hmm.
I read all of her friends. Daryl Morrison from Ghost Hunters is, I read him. And quite a few people. Some I just can't name.
Right. Well, you're in a great place because you're right next door to New York. So, there's a lot of people just across the bridge. I don't know.
There's a lot of there's people here in Jersey.
Yeah,
we got so many celebrities here.
Yeah. So when you do a personal reading like you're doing for the celebrities, what are you reading for them? What do they want to know? Like, what job should I take?
Well, sometimes you know what? Actually, I do a lot of business calls too. Like I help people like decide on what to do with their business. With jobs or whatever. But some people just want a general reading, what I see. So I like to, it's funny from this, pandemic, because I use Zoom, to do my readings and FaceTime and Google Duo. I actually like to see the people because then I look at them and I can read the energy around them and see what's going on. So I'll pick up stuff and I'm like telling them what I pick up now, possibly what happened in the past that pertains to the future. And I'll pick up future events and what's going to happen. So it's fun. And then, of course I do a mix of mediumship. So if there's somebody going to come through, it's
Right.
not always, some people, it's funny. Some people they want a medium reading, and I'm not really picking up people that they will know. And I'm like, why, is there a specific person you're looking for? They're like, no, I really don't know anybody that's passed. And I'm like, I said, let me read you. Shut up.
That's funny. Can you tell us some of the myths of being a psychic that are not true?
And I get it. And I got to tell you, and I live by this. Like, I never want to be perceived that, like, I see a lot of people with the garb, the black and goth looking, that's not a psychic. And another thing, you don't have to be spiritual, love and light to be psychic. That's not going to make you psychic. Being a psychic, you're just a normal person.
Right.
So saying love and light, because I see so many of these people, they're like, love and light, love and light. You can't live love and light, every day. If you're mad at somebody, you got to say it. I always say you're gonna block your throat chakra.
Right.
If you're pissed at somebody, say it. I'm pissed at you.
Right.
You can't hold that in. But people think by being spiritual and, I don't know, it's not going to make you psychic. Either you're a psychic or you're not.
Right.
But you don't need all that, crazy big crap.
Right. Makes sense. So you said it started when you were 4. Do you think there's anything that possibly happened to you before you were 4 that could have been like a catalyst to start this off? Like, like some kind of near-death experience or?
Well, nothing happened before. I'm going to tell you something that nobody knows. I was born cross-eyed.
Okay.
So I actually had an operation to fix my eye. And then when I was younger, I caught a really bad virus that landed in my spine, and I couldn't move my legs for the longest time. Like, I had to wait for this. It was crazy. But I had never had a near-death experience. But the only thing I think it was probably my father coming through to see me, and somehow maybe making that connection or something. I got to connect with the other side, and something happened there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like maybe you just made some kind of connection, and the chain or the energy is still connected.
Exactly.
Wow.
But too, you know what? I did my chart.
You did what?
I'm sorry, my third. I did my chart, my astrology chart, and in my chart, it shows like sections of my chart what makes me psychic.
What is that?
It's like the placement of the planets, like where I have Scorpio and Pisces is where it makes. I forgot what the placement of it. I think about 12th house or something like that. I love astrology. I know the exact. I'm not an astrologer, but I understand it. So it shows what makes me psychic, and I know it's like I have Scorpio in a certain part of my chart and Pisces, which are water signs. Which water signs usually Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer are the psychics of the zodiac.
I didn't know that. Do you have any regrets about being a psychic?
No, I love it.
Well,
I love it. I absolutely love it. The only thing I don't like is like I have a very small group of friends because everyone wants to be my friend, and I know when people invite me out, it's like I have to sing for my dinner. Yeah. And I don't want to do that. I want to go out and I like to go out with my friends and not read.
Right.
That's the only part I hate. It's like when people invite, because as soon as they start, read, I'm like, no, I'm off duty.
Yeah.
I want to have fun.
Yeah. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
And I have stalkers now. I have a lot of stalkers.
How do they stalk you? I mean, like through the internet or what?
Yeah, through the internet. It's just they feel attached to me. They feel like an attachment. I guess just like celebrities, they just feel they know me. And I have some sending me poems but
are they sending?
I mean, not bad. I haven't had anything. They're sending it to my email, my email address. So.
You're not like getting gifts arriving at your door or anything like that.
No, then I'm gonna really be upset.
So you are into a lot of stuff because you're also a shaman. You do remote viewing. You're a ghost hunter. Out of all these things that you do, what are you most passionate about?
I really love my investigations. I love doing the investigation. It's so much fun.
Mhm.
Like, we were talking, like, I like the EVPs. I like the validation that I get when I go on location. I love, like I was just telling you earlier, I just did the location at the Berkeley Plantation with Flammary Promotions, and I was with Mustafa from Ghost Hunters. And I did the walkthrough, and before I got there, my remote viewing kicked in. As soon as I got the phone call to go to this event, I told them what I was picking up. But when I got there, I was walking with Ray Savino from Flammary, and I looked to the left of me, and there was this black man in a straw hat, and they were like carting off bodies. And he says to me, he goes, explosion. There was an explosion. I said, oh my God. So, I go to the curator of the Berkeley Plantation, and I said, I saw this guy, and he said there was an explosion here. But I said, I feel like there was two explosions. I said, like one from war and one, I don't know if a ship blew up or something happened. And she said, that's exactly what happened. And I said to her, and I said, nobody knows this either. Like, this is not on the internet. You can't find this information. So I was very excited about that. A lot of locations I do, a lot of information I get, you cannot get online. So, which validates me even more. Like, it can't be researched.
So a lot of these locations, do they like pay you to come out? Like this plantation to me sounds like it's pretty far from New Jersey, but I could be wrong.
It's Virginia.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, of course you get paid for it. I get paid for different locations. I get paid for my time. And some I don't. Some I just love doing it.
So they'll just like fly you out?
Yeah. Well, actually, I drove to this one. It was a 6-hour ride, but it was so much fun. Starbucks and good music.
There you go. Well, that's really awesome.
Yeah, but there's some places. Yeah, I'll be. They'll fly me out. So it's really a lot of fun. I love it.
When they're flying you out to a location, is it like they just want to know what's going on with their place? So they're like, hey, there's a ghost here and I don't get it, and we need to get an expert out here, and they'll say, hey, can you come out and see what's going on? Is that usually why they bring you out?
Yeah, and sometimes it's for like an event, where they're people are paying to come to the event to see it haunt the location. So I just, up the ante because I could connect with them and tell them what's going on. And, most of the time, almost 99% of the time, I'm going to give information that is not known. So, which makes it even more fun. Yeah. Like I did here in Jersey, I did a location, and before going there, of course, remote viewing, I honed in and I saw that George Washington was there with his troops. They were actually hiding out there. So I get to this location and I start picking up all the stuff. So I get the curator of the place and I said, listen, George Washington was here because he showed me. Not that I was talking to George Washington, but I could see him and his men. He goes, nope, time frame was wrong. Nope. I'm like, all right. I said, but I'm right. I know I am. 2 days later, I get a call from him. He goes, April, you were right. He sends me a letter that they found. And George Washington was there hiding out with his men.
Wow. It must be.
And nobody knew this. This is not evidence that you cannot find on the internet.
It must be awesome to get that validation.
Yeah, I knew I was right. I'm like, I was arguing with them. I said, all right. I said, I know I'm right. I said, I know he was here. So I'll walk out there. I know I'm right. Because if I'm seeing this, I'm right. I'm a typical Italian and Sicilian.
Uh-oh.
We're always right.
We're always right. So you got any other projects that you're working on that you want people to know about?
Oh, gosh.
Are you going to write a book or something? Or what?
I'm probably, you know what? Everyone keeps bugging me to write a book. And I'm like, well, I'm not really a writer. So, but I guess they find me interesting because when I went to this last event, I had so many fans there. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I said, you know what? Maybe I will write a book. I will write a book about my past, stuff that I've done, and maybe some tips how they can, build up their psychic abilities. So
that's interesting that you say that, because I kind of just felt like it was natural for you. Did you actually have to work at it some too?
No, I just like to tweak things. So I like to learn different techniques. Like I learned like psychometry. I just needed to tweak it. I can always pick up energy from any object. But of course, like people that draw, like some people don't know how to draw, but they take art classes and they get good,
Yeah.
They're not Picasso, but you can get to that level, if you work at it. It takes a long time. You're not going to, take a class and you're psychic.
Right. Did you take classes?
No, well, as I got older, I started like taking just, I took my shaman classes. I did my rites to get into a tribe. I tweaked my remote viewing. So, things like that, little classes like that.
That makes sense.
And it's fun.
Let's see here. I have a lot of chatter going through the chat. Let me see if there's an actual question. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. I have one comment that says, April, you are beautiful inside and out.
Oh, thank you. Who is that? Where do I send the check?
So let me see. I had a good question here. With your remote viewing, is that something new that you just started to do, or is that something you've been doing for a long time as well?
You know what? It's not something I always did. It's funny, when I started doing locations, like with teams or going out to like haunted locations, that's when I realized, I'm like, oh wow, because as soon as somebody said something to me, like the first time I did it, and they said, oh, we're going here, and all of a sudden I was there. I'm on location. I'm on the property, and I could tell them what I'm seeing. I'm like, oh my God, there's woods here. I'm seeing the woods. I'm seeing the White House. This happened with the Hinsdale house. I was never to the Hinsdale house. And somebody said, we're going to go there. And I'm like, oh, I'm excited. I heard about this place. And all of a sudden I am brought to the backyard of the Hinsdale house, and there's woods. But on the property line, there's thousands of Indians, and there's an Indian chief in the middle. And he says to me, this land, they will not step foot on the property, these Indians. And he told me the land is tainted and there's nothing you could do. He said it's in the earth. It's in the house. It's in the wood, but it's in the earth. Like it's bad energy. So they will never step on that property. So then they showed me that there was like a hanging there. They showed me the man. There was a man with an axe, and he was killing animals, like with the sledgehammer or something, and like blood's going all over the place, and he was loving it. And I'm like, oh my God, this man is a serial killer. He's a serial killer, and they're going to find animal bones all over the place. He started with the animals. Then I see 13 people walking down this road that goes nowhere. And they're like stuck walking up and down this road, and they're dead. And this guy killed them. And they're all different eras too. Because one lady stood out like from the rest of them, like she was totally in a different era, like probably the earliest. And it's funny, the Hinsdale house only has one road to it. It's like a road to this house, and it goes nowhere else. And that's where I kept seeing them walking up and down. So, and when I went to that place, it's not so much like the hauntings or the EVPs. It's the energy that you feel from this property is just pure evil. And like, I was scared, like right into my bones. And I kept saying, somebody did something. I don't know if they did a spell or they tried to bless the land or do something, but they did it wrong. They did it wrong, that now these people, they got the people out of the house or off the property, but they're stuck on the property on this road. So they just walk up and down aimlessly down this road.
Wow.
That was crazy.
So that was 13 people that this one guy killed, all 13?
Yeah. There might be more people. But specifically I was seeing like 13 people walking up and down this road. Like they're just lost.
What are your thoughts on this? That people that are earthbound are either here because they're confused or because they love someone so much they don't want to leave. They're just here for them.
I think it's a little bit of everything. I can almost relate to, I swear to God, like being a mom, I don't want to leave my daughter. I don't want to leave her. I think I would stay here. But what happens is if you don't cross over, you go into a state of confusion and you start losing yourself. You start losing your mind and you start losing the memories because you're in a dark energy now. You're in between. So I always say to people, if you ever saw that movie with Robin Williams, What Dreams May Come, it's a perfect example of people like commit suicide or getting stuck in between. They start to lose their minds. I did a residential home where I remember the lady called me up, and as soon as she called me, I saw the creepiest thing I've ever saw. My biggest fear is, those creepy women you see crawling on there like all fours backwards, like that, with the long hair.
Okay.
That's what I was seeing. And I was seeing it happen in their kitchen, and she's knocking things off the shelf. So as soon as this woman opened the door, I walked right into the kitchen. I said, things are getting knocked off the shelf. And I told her what I was seeing. I didn't tell her over the phone because I didn't want to scare her.
Right.
But I told her when I got there. So I went around the house and, feeling the energy. And I'm like, are you hearing scratching on your living room floor or banging? And she's like, yeah. I said, that's her crawling on the ceiling. But I'm walking around the house and I get to their bedroom, and all of a sudden this older woman comes out and she's go, pushing me out. And her name was, and I go, who's Claire? That was their mother that passed. She was actually protecting them. That was the only room that was protecting the house, that the children would sleep in there with them. Mm-hmm. And this woman wouldn't let anybody go in there. She was badass. Wow. So she was like, she's like, no, get out. She's telling me to get out. I'm like, all right. She's protecting everyone. She crossed over, but she came back to help. So I go down to the basement, and it's funny. I'm walking around and I'm like, who's Brian? Who's Brian the fireman? And I'm sorry, excuse me. I was talking all week and my throat's dry.
No problem.
She goes, turn around. There's a fireman's uniform behind me, and it was their friend Brian that just passed away. He's not the one haunting, but he's there helping. Mm-hmm. So finally I find the location. I said, this is where this woman hides, in this one corner of the house. And I get her and I'm trying to talk to her, and all of a sudden she loses that scary persona of the creepy lady, and I get her down into her human form. I find out that she had mental issues, and a husband had to put her away, and he loved her very much. He sold that house so he could put her in the best facility.
Okay.
So she came back looking for him. She came back to the house. But when they get scared like that and they become lost, they change their look. That's why some people, when you hear them, like Amy Allen on Dead Files, she tells you some creepy things that she sees, like, people with 70 arms coming out and things crawling out there. That's how they try to scare us. They can do that with their minds and how we perceive them. So it's pretty crazy.
So what did you do with this lady?
You're going to be scared to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I know. Maybe for a long time.
You're going to be afraid.
Not just tonight, for the rest of the year. So what did you do with
sometimes they wake me up in my sleep.
What did you do?
What I did with her is I'm sorry. We keep cutting each other off. I'm Italian. Right. I'm going to cut you off. I talked to her. I got her down to her human form where I can talk to her. Mm-hmm. And I said, listen, I'm going to bring the light to you, and I want you to cross into this light. And the light showed up, and she walked into it, and she went, and all the activity stopped.
That's interesting. I wonder if then.
But with that house, remember I was telling you about the bad thing? Before I went into that house, I kept seeing that bad thing. That soul collector guy, which I didn't realize was a soul collector.
Okay.
That was there. When I was walking around the house. I'm like, I'm not telling them. I'm like, I'm feeling this dark figure here, but he's hiding from me. He doesn't want anything to do with me. And I'm like, he's hiding from me because I'll get rid of him. But I was able to cross her over before he can get to her.
Whoever is going to listen to this podcast is going to have an amazing story to write a movie about, the soul collector, because that can be amazing.
I know. I thought about it. They better not use my idea. It's true. They have to consult me.
Right. Seriously.
I have evidence here. It's mine.
All right. I think I got some more questions here. Let's see. Is there one place that you would like to investigate that you haven't been to yet? Good question. Jen.
Oh my gosh. I always wanted to go to the Veliska House. And my good friend Brandon Alvis just sent me, he's been there before. I want to go there because that's where their family was killed and all the children. It's so sad and it's so dear to me because I love children so much. I would actually just love to talk to the children and tell them that they're okay. I know I can't do it on the property and they wouldn't want me to get rid of the spirits or anything, but I just want to connect with the children and just comfort them. I know it's crazy, the spirits and everything, but I'm so drawn to the children there. I just want to hug them and tell them they're okay. That they don't have to be afraid anymore. But that's really one place I would love to go.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that's morally wrong to keep that going, just so they can make money off their haunted house.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad even saying that. People are gonna hate me now. But sometimes they don't want to go. But listen, I'm going to tell you. You know what can happen too, which I'm not sure of. This could also be residual. Now, residual is an imprint left on the property from a tragedy. So I always say children usually cross over immediately. Sometimes there's traumatic instances like them. They were killed, brutally killed. It might very well be, imprint on the property that stays there. Because I've been to locations where I've seen spirits, like the room I was staying in at a haunted hotel, at the Haunted Shanley Hotel. I saw the woman come in and she's cleaning up. She's not paying attention to me. So I said to myself, this is a residual. This is what she used to do. It's just an imprint that I'm seeing in another, like kind of another dimension. I'm seeing, the past.
Right. Yeah,
that's interesting. And I actually saw her. Now I was up on the third floor later on in the day, and I saw her across the room, and she was cleaning the room, boop-a-doo, going around. I'm like, all right, she doesn't see us. I walked in there. She's paying me no mind. So she's not an active spirit. She's a residual. So it very may well be the same thing at the Veliska House because it's so traumatic. You're going to feel the energy there. I'll be able to hear the children. You're going to hear the screams transcend through time. So
do you think you could ever develop your ability where you could remote view an active situation going on by living people? Like you could remote view, like say the White House and see what Trump is talking to Melania about, or remote view your neighbor, down the street and see what they're arguing about.
Wow, I kind of do that in readings. What people like, I'll do a reading and like say a couple broke up. And I can kind of get into like, they want to know about the husband or something. I can kind of get in their heads and see like what they're feeling. Not exactly everything, but I can get what they're feeling, what they're going through, So don't think I can read your mind, guys. I'm not doing that. But I can already do that now. Not to that extent, I guess, you know what? I never tried it. I think it's a little, I don't think it's right to do that to someone, But I can get impressions, like of how they're feeling, what they're going through, their feelings on that person. I'm going to get kidnapped by the government now.
They're going to start using you to spy on people for them, maybe.
If I disappear.
All right. So you are the star of live readings with April, the psychic housewife of New Jersey. What is that show about? Tell us about the show.
Oh, you know what? I started out on Instagram doing live readings. I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing readings for people for free. Because you know what? Not everyone can afford a reading. And I'm not expensive, but So I said, I started doing it on Instagram and I had so much fun, which I met Jen and Brent and I loved the people. We became a big, are you seeing something behind me?
No. No.
Oh, sometimes people, when
I'm
they're
seeing
watching,
a ghost behind you. You better watch out.
No, you know what? Sometimes people will see orbs behind me.
Oh, no.
Jen will tell you. Jen's watching. Jen, right? We've seen orbs behind me, shooting behind me. And then people will start writing. They're like, oh my God, I'm seeing orbs behind you. And then I'll look back on it. I'm like, holy crap, there's an orb. And it's not dust. So that's how I started out. And then somebody had mentioned me to Daryl Marston from Ghost Hunters. And Daryl reached out to me and we started talking. And he goes, okay, read me. Being a real smart ass. So I read him and I told him some things that nobody knew about and things to come. And he's he's part owner of Paranormal Warehouse. And he goes, "You want your own show?" And I'm like, absolutely. I love doing live readings. So that's how it started. I love it. I love talking to people.
Two things. So I don't understand. How are you reading somebody on Instagram? Because it's either, I guess it's either you're going to post a picture or you could put like a 1-minute video.
No. Actually, I can connect with their energy. I really, honest to God, I like looking at people more. So I've done phone readings, hundreds of them, but now I just love to look at people. I can get so much more information looking at their aura, the energy around them. And it's funny, it's not like I actually see like yellow lights around you. I'm actually feeling it in my head. Like I could feel like what colors around you, what's going on. Any traumatic stuff that happened in your life, I will pick up on. It's great. And, I've gotten a lot of clients as too, because I just read for a girl today that she said, I read her briefly on Paranormal Warehouse, and she was asking like something, getting help with a VA loan, like through I forgot what it was. And I said, you're going to get it in September. And I gave a whole bunch of information that was going to happen. Then I read her today, and I was talking about her father came through. And I said, let me ask you, I said, is your father diabetic? She said, yeah. I said, wait, he showed me in the war. I said, did he like get frostbite on his toes? Because I'm seeing he came back with frostbite from Germany.
Wow.
Like on his toes, because I was like seeing gangrene, like, but it's crazy, like the information they give you. And then some of them out things, like, like I was reading for someone, and I was reading for a couple, and the spirit that came through goes, "Oh, congratulate them on their engagement." I said, "Oh, he's congratulating you on the engagement." And I get kicked under the table. He didn't propose yet.
Oh, wow.
So I have outed people. I just outed somebody recently with a book they were coming out with. They're like, nobody was supposed to know that yet. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
It's funny when you say I just outed somebody, it makes me think like, you just have you ever outed someone, made them come out of the closet too early?
No. That I'll feel like I will keep that. I try when I read to people to keep certain information. I'll always bring up, what I'm talking about. I'll kind of give them a cryptic message that they'll understand. So
when you're giving,
I actually, what? Let me tell you something. I trained with I did take class. I took a class with John Edward. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh, like
crossing over John Edward.
Yeah, the famous guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I trained with him. I love him. And I remember I was actually on one of his shows, and I remember there was a guy on that he started reading, and he took his mic off. He goes, "Listen, I'm not going to read you here." He took him out back. And this is why John left TV, because production got pissed at him. But the guy wasn't out yet. And John was not about to out him on live TV. And I thought that was the nicest thing. And I always said, I always want to be like that, like how he is. I always want to treat people with complete kindness, So that's why I like doing this. I want to help as many people as I can.
What happened to that guy, John Edwards?
Oh, he's still on. He has his own I guess like network, streaming live. He's got a big following. He still travels and does live readings. I think he got sick of TV controlling him, what he was going to say. Like that one instant, like, they were pissed. They want to know everything. They want to out the people. They want to embarrass people. Yeah.
Now you said that your live readings is on the Paranormal Warehouse, I believe. What is that?
It's a platform. It's a streaming platform. They have, they're wonderful. I love them. They have like Daryl Marston has a show called Epic Haunt. So where he does locations where he goes to haunted places, and, they ghost hunt, and they stream that live. So it's streaming. So anyone can go like on Facebook. I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy. Must be spirits around. No. So you can go onto Facebook and look up Paranormal Warehouse, and you will find that platform. And like I'm on Tuesdays at 8:00, so you'll see me on Tuesdays. So you catch us on Facebook Live or on YouTube. But it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of great shows, a lot of great readers. They're best.
Hey, if you are, you might as well say it. So do you interact with the public generally? I mean, do you have a Facebook page, and are you private? Or are you public? Like if people say, "Hey, April."
No, I'm public. Yeah.
Do you have
We were talking earlier, like, yeah, it's under, like, I'm on Facebook, April, the Psychic Housewife in New Jersey. I have my website, intuitiveapril.com, so you can see, you know, what events I'm doing. Because I do a lot of events where I go to locations with the public and, you know, do walkthroughs, and I tell them what's going on with the spirits. And sometimes I might, you know, read some people there.
Do you have a website?
Yeah, intuitiveapril.com.
Okay, intuitiveapril.com. Do you have your own YouTube channel, or you're just on the Paranormal Warehouse?
You know, I have a YouTube channel. I just never uploaded to it. I'm so busy. I'm like, I don't have time for this. So, you know, I think, you know what? I know. It's funny you say that. I said I have to link when I do my live readings. I can link it to my YouTube site. I don't think I have any subscribers, so everyone look for me. Because I never really pushed the YouTube thing, but I think I should.
Yeah, send me a link and I'll put it in the podcast description.
Oh, awesome.
You got to get something up there, though. You got to even just say, hey, it's me, April. This is my channel. So when they, you know, if they get there, they won't be wondering, is this it?
I just did listen on my TikTok. I just did my first TikTok, so I'm under Intuitive April.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, April, the Psychic House in Jersey. Yeah.
Are you
so I did a really fun TikTok.
Okay.
I love TikTok, but I love watching it.
Are you reading or are you dancing?
Not dancing, but I will be soon. I want to dance with the people. I want to, when they do, like, when you can dance with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, when you join into another video, I want to do that. There's this police officer I'm following, and I want to do a dance with him. Oh. They have like dance challenges. I know Shakira has one. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to learn these moves.
I think they call those duets.
But yes, is that it? Duets. I'm new to TikTok, but I love it. I'm like so addicted to it. Did you ever watch TikTok? Oh my God, you'll stay on all night.
Yeah. I have two of them.
You have a TikTok? Are you dancing?
Well, no. Actually, I mean, it's funny enough, I haven't really even shared this with anybody. I actually also produce music.
I'm outing you.
You're outing me. There you go. I also write and produce music. And so my friend and I made this song called TikTok Girl. And you can check it out. If you look
here.
Yeah, it's like, and we made this like little, and what we try to do is like a little side music project. So you can use our song, and here you go for your next TikTok.
I'm telling you, my brain is like going. I'm like, I'm going to probably do this.
Okay, here we go. So if you look up Purple Boombox, that's the name of just me and my friend's little band. We just called it Purple Boombox. And the song is called TikTok Girl. So you can see it. And what we have like about somewhere over 200 videos. People have made videos with the song. So people, because a lot of people will scroll through and find a song and dance to it or whatever. But if you look up Purple Boombox, you'll see that.
I know. I'm definitely, you know what? Look for me. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I have to find Machine Gun Kelly. I absolutely love him, and I want to do one with him.
He's probably there.
Yeah. Oh, he's got to be. Yeah. But I love him. I want to do one with him. And Officer Kingery, I think that's how you say his name. He's really popular. So
maybe you should put it out there that you will do a reading for Machine Gun Kelly.
I will.
There you go.
Oh, for sure. I'll be starstruck.
You will? I wouldn't.
Oh, absolutely.
I love him. I wouldn't think you would be the type to be too starstruck.
You know, I usually don't. And I got to tell you, I got a little starstruck this weekend with Mustafa. I was like a little tongue-tied. I was sitting talking to him, and I just felt intimidated. I'm like, I know. And that really very rarely, because I'm very outgoing. I'm not shy, obviously. But I don't know. I got a little starstruck with Mustafa this weekend.
I think that even if you read, sometimes you'll see other celebrities get starstruck with other celebrities.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah. I was like that when I first talked to Daryl. I'm like, I can't talk. But then he asked me to read. When I go into mode, when I start to read, I kind of like almost trance out, like I zone out everyone. Matter of fact, over the weekend, Ray Savino never seen me in action. So as soon as we got on location, boom, I let loose, and it's like he's like, it's like you're on drugs, like I'm on coke. I was like talking so fast, but because I'm trying to get the information out, like, you know, that I'm picking up, because it's coming so fast into my head, I have to let it out. So usually like I would have a cameraman with me, follow me so he could, film all the information I'm picking up, or sometimes I like to write it down. But now I just go so fast in my head, I don't even have time to write it down.
That would be awesome to see. How can we see that? Is there like something where we can see you in action on YouTube or what?
Well, like my live readings, I do that. But as a matter of fact, you know what? I will be traveling with my friend Animal Joshua. He does Animal Paranormal Live, and he's going to be doing a documentary on different haunted locations. So I'm going to start traveling with him, I believe, in February. So we're going to different locations where he's going to be filming. So he'll film me, in action doing that. At the Berkeley Plantation, unfortunately, we were not allowed to film inside the buildings, which stinks. So
yeah,
I know I like having a cameraman with me.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably have you need to get one and just have them follow you around whenever you're doing it and start posting that to YouTube. Because I know
I have my friend
huge.
Patrick. Patrick, if you're watching this, I need you, Patrick. I worked so well with him.
Right, yeah, because that could be
we
huge.
We just clicked so well. So yeah, I know that's a good idea. I think I have to reach out to him.
All right, well, I'm always limited on time, so before we wrap it up here, can you give a message to take with us? And not spooky, maybe a good message. I got to be able to sleep tonight.
I don't know. I know. Well, you know what? I got to tell you, that's how I'm picking up spirit. You know what? They're always around us. Like our loved ones are always around us. Like, when you get the feathers, the birds, like, the typical stuff. Our loved ones are always trying to give us information. So if you want to talk to them, just talk out loud or even in your head and say hey, Mom, are you with me? Give me a sign. And I always get, with my mom, and I do this, I can't see my mom. I never see her, but my mom will always contact me through a song. So if I'm upset and I think of her, the song that plays on the radio has the exact message that I needed to hear, or an answer to what I needed.
That's interesting.
It's amazing. And this is for anyone. Anyone can do this.
That's pretty
Go
awesome.
sit in your car. Yeah.
That's cool. So do you think that
well, you know what I should do? I should tell you one more thing. Guys, if you ask a question, say if you have a book in front of you or even a dictionary, just think of a question and flip to a page and just stop it where you feel drawn to and put your finger there. And that might be a message there for you. It's pretty crazy and it works.
Do you have to ask the question first or you just do it?
Well, you can just do it. But if you have a specific question, should I take this job? Which job should I take? I have two choices. Imagine going to the page, say you wanted to work at TD Bank or another bank, and you go through pages and all of a sudden you click on, your finger pops up and there's TD Bank. That's your answer. Wouldn't that be crazy?
All right. So are you saying you could just go through any random book?
Yeah, I'm just saying this is a way to communicate with spirits, especially if it's a loved one. They hear you. They hear us and they will answer you. They try to answer us. Obviously, not everyone's psychic, so not everyone's going to see it or hear it. So they try and give us information, through song or, I used to do this when I was younger, but I'm psychic. But I used to flip through the page, if I would ask a question and I would flip through pages and in the dictionary and put my hand on the word. And it's funny, it would answer me with the, what I was asking,
that's
which was usually over a boy. Does Jimmy love me? Yes.
Kind of reminds me of the Crazy Eight. You remember that? You shake that thing and see what answer you get.
This is exactly how to do it. It'll answer you. It's so much fun.
So do you think that people, when they die, I mean, I'm assuming that most of the people have already crossed over, but you're still contacting them, right? Even though they've crossed over, they're still around you. What about
They're still around. You call out to them, they can come. Listen, they can transcend time and space. There's no time and space. It's weird. It's one time I was able to feel what it's like. I know it's weird. It's like where they are. They're here and we're right here. It's crazy. It's just a different dimension.
Yeah. No,
I can't even explain it. It's so bizarre, but we're next to each other, but on different planes. It's so crazy.
Do you think that they always stay there for eternity, or do they decide that they reincarnate or they go somewhere else?
I do believe in reincarnation. So I think you could do whatever you want, but for some reason, I just feel like we're fragmented. Like we can go off into another life, but we're in another dimensions. I just really feel like there's different dimensions of us, different fragmentations of us. So
that's interesting. Kind of like we're
I know I'm going to travel in Europe. No,
you're gonna what?
When I cross over, I'm traveling.
Just going to be residual energy of you in different locations.
Yeah, you can find me at Chanel in Paris.
All right. Well, April, this has been a really fun interview. I'm so glad that I had you on today.
I know, me too, Jeff. I'm so glad I finally got to speak to you.
Yeah. And I want to thank you so much for coming on. I wish you massive success with everything you're into. Thank you very much.
Have me back. Maybe we'll do live readings.
Hey, yeah, that might be fun.
Yeah, I love doing those.
Let me ask you one last question then before we go. Do you ever tell anybody bad news? Or is that something you shouldn't do?
You know what? We're given what we're supposed to know. I have you know what? I'm not a negative reader, so I think it's the way I present things, but I've never seen somebody's going to die or, even if they know, my mom's really ill and I'm like, I said, that it's coming to the, her end, she lived a good life and, she'll be fine. That I ease people into stuff like that, but I don't say you're going to be in a bad car accident. The plane's going to crash, I've never had that happen.
You never say oh gosh, you married Jim. That ain't going to work out.
Yeah. Now I will warn them. Somebody asked me today. She's like, I was thinking about my ex. I'm like, no, absolutely not. He is a bad guy. And I started telling her what I saw. She goes, oh my God, yeah, you're right. That's what he did. And I'm like, so why are you even thinking about him? I love this. I was telling her, I love this new guy that you're with. And I was saying I was describing his personality. And I said, and what he recently did for her. And I also told her they're getting engaged. So stay with him. Do not go to this train wreck. And I outed him. She was on Paranormal Warehouse and she was asking about him. I said, he's a liar and he's a cheater. And she didn't know that. And she, confronted him and he fessed up to it.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Can I just tell you one more story?
Sure.
I just have to tell you I was doing a reading for this girl. She comes to see me and she's like, oh, I want to know about my boyfriend if we'll get married. And And I looked at her and I said, honey, he's gay. And she goes, my mother said the same thing. And I said, oh, he's gay. I said, is he leaving? Is he moving far away to go to for a job? And she goes, yeah, he's moving to San Francisco. I said, and the guy that he's going to live with, that's his friend. And she said, yeah. I said, they're lovers. So she confronted him. He fessed up to it.
Wow.
He was going there for the job, but to be with this guy. So wow. I know. I felt bad, but it's better that she knew that he was gay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah.
It was a bad good news or a good bad news? Not her.
Yeah. I told her she was going to meet somebody else. Don't worry. I said, this is, it's a blessing in disguise.
All right, April. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, you were an amazing guest. And I
you're
wish you
an
the
amazing
best.
host.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You too, Jeff.
All right. You have a
We'll
good
talk
night.
again.
I hope so.
You too. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.